All right, good morning, students. Is everyone back? Hopefully
Yes.
everyone's back. Did y'all grab some water? Oh, Darius, thank you, sir. Okay. We're gonna uh, go ahead and pass the thank you for using the thing. That's cool. The emojis, or I don't know what they call them here. The reactions, the reactions. So I'm gonna turn over the baton to Miss Polk and let her work her magic with every single one of you all, and we'll be on standby to assist and work the chat and the other stuff that you need us to, Miss Polk.
All right. Thank you so much. First of all, everyone give a reaction to your upper bound staff. Like you don't realize how this has been a challenge trying to make this as engaging online as possible. So literally you have a chance. Go ahead and shoot a reaction. Just give them a thank you. They love you all. We love you all here at UNT Dallas. And so it's a pleasure. It is a true blessing to be here with you all this morning. So my ground rules again, if you have your mute your mics because again, I have like a 4-year-old that I've bribed with some donuts so that he wouldn't come to my office. So we know that families are real. So I would say mute your mics, unmute when you want to share. This is an open presentation, okay? So you don't have to wait very to the end. You have a question, do a reaction. If you want to speak it out, go ahead. I want us to be comfortable and confident as we're sharing information. If you want to share your screen, you are free to. If you don't, I encourage that as well. I want you to be comfortable. But I'm gonna dive right in. So this is interactive, y'all. So I don't know if y'all was like, man, they gonna make me talk this morning. I'm gonna encourage you to talk this morning. I got the chat function. You know, your teachers, if someone don't answer, they start calling on people. I'm gonna just go in whatever alphabetical order it is. So again, use your chat function to comment, and the upper bound staff will kind of help me out and like mention those out to me, or give reactions. So we want some little engagement this morning. So degrees, my future careers, oh my. Let's be honest. This is like what you hear about all day, every day. It's getting to a point where I know most of y'all are like, I want to hear about anything else about what I'm going to do in my future. So just to engage a little bit, I try to be, tech savvy. So staff, let me know if you can hear my audio. You should be able to. I'm going to stop sharing. I'm going to share one more time just to make sure we have the audio. Because I thought about that because I am not as tech savvy, but that's a skills. Let me tell y'all, we're learning skills. All right, so let me know, anybody let me know if you're not able to hear it. So let's be honest, has anybody felt that same way? I am like, I don't know what I want to do. I'm taking college courses, having conversations with family, and it's overwhelming. Go ahead and shoot me a yes or no, or like, I don't even know, in the chat function, an emoji, like whatever that is. Has anyone else felt that before?
Yes.
Yeah.
So guess what? That is real. All right. And when I tell y'all it is so real, it is overwhelming, but it's overwhelming because we have to look at career in a different perspective. All right. So that's what I want to provide you today. We're going to change up our perspective just a little bit so that we're not so overwhelmed and we're not doing all these random things trying to hopefully get to our dream career. That's what we want to get rid of. Career, I'm going to be honest, y'all, career is exciting. It is a lifelong journey. So all I can tell you is to strap up and enjoy the journey. It's not all about the destination. You want to know from where you are now to when you start getting to where you go. Because if we're honest, that's going to change too. Talk to your upper bound staff. What they probably thought when they first started their career journey, it has changed. And that's a good thing. So I like to always start off with some engagement. So this is where we're going to use that chat box a little bit. I want you all to just kind of write in the chat box what comes to mind when you think about career. Or you can share it out loud, so you don't have to type because again, it's the morning time.
What someone's gonna do for their future.
Okay, what someone's gonna do for the future? Good one. All right. Anybody else?
Something a passionate job someone desires.
Okay, passionate job. Somebody desires. I like that. Okay. Anything else? And I know in the chat function if you all can read off to me in the chat function. I'm not as savvy, so I don't want to. If there's any chats that they may want to.
Dedication.
Okay.
That's what Jesse Garcia said.
All right. Dedication.
Nayeli, something long term.
Something long term.
Ms. James, your future job that you enjoy doing.
I like that. Enjoy doing. I'm hearing that a lot.
Miss Piggy, my future.
Okay.
Miss Williams, what you want to be.
Okay. So you all kind of get the idea of a career. At some point, your upper bound staff and your counselors and your teachers have done a good job with giving you the ballpark about what career is. So this is where we're going to talk about some career myths. Now, this is why I like to start here. Most of the time, we build these facades or images in our mind that sometimes are not always true. And if they are said a lot, it's because they've held some truth in someone's life. So again, one thing I tell people, your families, they may not have 1,000,000 degrees. They may not have seen everything, but there's some truths that they've experienced in life. So again, if some of these myths, because my mom is one of them, if there's some myths that your families continue to tell as truth, it doesn't mean it's not true. It just means it's not applicable to everyone. So when I talk about myth, it means that it's not applicable to every case. It's not consistent amongst everyone. So I call it a myth if it's not consistent. So the first one, this is my big one. I get this all the time. This is why I want you to use a chat box. It's going to be a true or false. There's not a right or wrong answer. There's always an in-between. You'll learn that in life. But I want you to use a chat function. My college major determines my future career. Is that true or false?
False.
Okay, false.
False.
Okay. They had the game. Yeah, the upper bound staff cheated. They let y'all have access to these beforehand. I see it. I see it is, but literally, guess what, y'all? That one is false, okay? I'm gonna let you know. College degrees give you knowledge. Your skills is things that you gain through involvement. That means through volunteering, internships, externships, courses. That's what you combine. Those together determine your career, not just a degree alone. Knowledge is your degree, so if you need to make a note, the degree itself is knowledge. That's what you sell employers. That's what you sell a company. Skills pay the bills. Skills, that's what you have to put some things to action. So it doesn't really always matter what you're learning as long as you can say why I'm learning this, how it connects with my skills, and this is why I can do the work for your job. Keep it that simple, y'all. That is literally how simple. So some of y'all applying for college. Hopefully everybody is. It's an experience. It's not all about getting the 6-figure job. It's really about helping you become more well-rounded. Because I'm be honest, employers, that's what they're looking for. And I work with employers all day. And that's what they tell us. We want well-rounded candidates. So when you're making your college major decisions, don't stress out. Start somewhere. Start somewhere. And as we go through the presentation, I'll give you a bit more clarity on how to do that. All right, round 2. Now, hopefully y'all didn't cheat this round because last round y'all was cheating, okay? This round, you must know everything about your career before you pursue it. True or false in the chat box?
False.
Okay.
False.
All right, cheated again. Somebody out here cheating. Y'all are giving the answers. It is false, y'all. This is so false, all right? Literally, if we're honest, if I knew everything about career, I'm pretty sure we would all be billionaires, okay? It's not about knowing everything about your career to pursue it. You want to know where to start. So I want you to think of career as a lifelong process. I know that, you know, we look at a time frame like I got to graduate by 18. I got to get this bachelor's degree by 22. I need to have my master's by 24. I need to have the car and dream house by 28. I need y'all to talk to somebody at 28. I need y'all to talk to somebody at 24. I need you to talk to somebody at these different ages because career is lifelong. Some of the biggest stars that we know of, they did not hit a lot of their career peaks until later in life because it had to build. So I know that a lot of us like things quick. I'm a victim of that, y'all, okay? If I can get something quick, and it makes me happy. But career is not quick. Make that note. You don't have to know everything to pursue it, but remember, it's a lifelong process. That means that you, like some of you said, I want to enjoy it. I want to have passion. Those things don't build in 3 or 4 years. That is a lifelong journey. And so good job. This one is false. All right, next one. Now this is the big one. All right. So make sure we ain't got no one cheating. Look at my notes. All right. So there is only one perfect job or career for you. Is that true or false?
False.
That
False.
False.
That's false.
What? See,
Very
that-
false.
Somebody shared it. Somebody shared this PowerPoint. That's what it was. It shared it. It is false. Now, granted, back in the day, I'm going to go back in the day for y'all. It's probably like 1980s. Okay, let's throw that out there. People used to literally have one job until, you know, they retired. And that was a great thing. But let's be honest, with technology, at the moment that it's moving and how global we're becoming, you can have multiple jobs throughout your career. So one of the statistics that I've read on is that you at least have 3 to 5 different careers in your lifetime. So this is why I tell students, it's not always getting to the end goal. It's about enjoying the journey. So that's why I tell them just to start. Just because of where you start at won't always be where you finish, and that is okay. So it is false. There is not only one perfect job or one perfect career, because guess what? You're a person. You like different things. You view different things. And so when we think about that, we want to keep ourselves open to that idea. Like there may be multiple things you enjoy. So this is a note I want you to make. I notice a lot of people say, well, I want to be a doctor, but I also want to be this. I want to be a nurse, but I also want to help people with this issue. Write all of those down. There's no reason why you won't be able to pursue each one of them. That's what a lot of people get stuck on. You can pursue a lot of careers. Write them down. That's when you meet with your upper bound advisor, your counselor. You meet with mentors. They will help you begin to create a plan. All right? So a lot of people get scared. That's why we do a thing called career planning, because you can do all these ideas. It's just you're going to have to plan out to see which ones should start first and which ones will come along the way. All right. So let's make sure that nobody cheated again, because we done cheated through every one of these questions. But liberal arts and humanities and science majors will not make money with their degrees. Is that true or false?
False.
Okay, false.
False.
False. All right.
False.
I looked at my presentation. That's cool. That's cool. They just looked at my presentation this morning. It is. Anybody say true? Anybody think it's true? Is anybody in the chat box think it's true?
I think Jess is implying STEM.
Okay.
I guess we'll make the most money.
He said,
All right.
maybe.
I'm not going towards, I'm going towards more liberal arts because physics, and they don't win that much money, but we win the knowledge though.
So I like, first of all, y'all have just like got me hyped. So there's a false that you don't make the same amount of money with STEM as you would with liberal arts and sciences. Skills pay the bills. The reason most STEM majors seem to make more money is because they focus a lot on the actual skills they can apply at a job. Whereas liberal arts and science majors, they don't market their skills that they've earned and gained. So really both of them can make 6 figures. I have professors in English that make 6 figures, as well as I have friends in project management that make 6 figures. The difference is how we talk about the skills that we have for the jobs that we are pursuing. So to be honest, this one is false. They make money. They can make equal amounts of money. Let's be honest, someone that's working within technology, who do you think writes their manuals? Who do you believe presents the information? You're talking about PR reps. Who do you think teaches that information? The different disciplines. So they're equal. This is like the biggest myth I have. So a lot of my students stress themselves out because they try to fit inside of a STEM or STEAM box because they're like, this gonna make me some money. You could be as broke as a STEM major as you could a liberal arts and science major, because again, they are equal. The difference is how you speak to what your focus is. And sometimes my liberal arts and science students are very humble. They're like, oh, it's not that much. You know, I like to read and write, you know. And my STEM major, they're like, no, I can create circuits. I know how to work with ABCD technology. So that's why you're going to see the pay gap is typically because they're not talking about their skills. But you can make money in liberal arts and humanities. That is the biggest myth. I have more students in distress emotionally and mentally because they are so scared of majoring in liberal arts and sciences because they're saying, I'm not going to make any money. So do know that they can equally make the same amount of money, but it all depends on the skills you're building and the knowledge. So again, we got to play with both of them. All right. So we all kind of get that, right? We all kind of went through those myths. And actually, most of y'all seem like y'all get a good idea. There's not only one career. Okay, you got that. I can kind of major in anything. It doesn't determine my future. I'm going to make money in whatever major. Now, the big question I have for you now, and I want you to use a chat function or you speak directly to me. How do you think you make a career decision?
I think you brainstorm like some of your interests.
Okay. Brainstorming interest. That's a good one.
You think about what you enjoy doing or what you would enjoy doing.
No, that's a really good one. So we think of interest, what you enjoy doing. Good one.
You might want to intern or like shadow somebody if that's a career.
Okay. So getting some like hands-on, like actually going to see what it looks like. Okay. Anybody else?
I guess it's also thinking about the quality of life you want to have, like the type of life, like if you want where you want to live, because some careers require you to be on some part of the country or some type of that. So like if you like to travel, it would be a different career. If you like to stay put or near the beach or something.
First of all, you just did a big one for me that I'll talk about lifestyle. Man, I don't know. Y'all don't, money's real. Okay. We all got a lifestyle we want to pursue if we're honest. Most of us try to make career decisions without taking into account of the lifestyle we actually want, not the one we see on Instagram. Message. Okay. Because let's be honest. Sometimes what we need in life, it doesn't always fancy everyone else. And so you said a big one, looking at what does that look like? Do you have to travel a lot? Do you get to stay here locally, close to family? Or do you do half and half where you're traveling and staying? So that's a big one. That's actually a big one that I have a lot of my college students look at. What is your lifestyle? Let's talk about it. I like that one. Anyone else?
You also have to like determine like how much you want to be paid or like how long you want to pursue this career and is it challenging? You got to see like the pros and cons of specific careers.
I love how you said that, the pros and cons of careers, because guess what? All careers have pros and cons. And that's where we encourage you to weigh them out. They're not bad or good. Make a note. Whatever career you choose is never bad or good. It's what's fitting your long-term goal. What are you trying to do? Because a lot of times, and I like how you said people weigh them out. How much am I making? So someone say, well, I'm going to make 6 figures. Okay, but you also like to get off of work at 5. And you also like to have weekends. When some people say, I don't really need weekends and afternoons off. I love work. Work is my life. So they don't really need to find jobs that focus on 8 to 5 and work-life balance. Neither is bad or good. Now, too much work is bad, hands down. My counselor side, work-life balance. But it's not bad to literally say, I want to focus on building these masterpieces. I want to focus on being innovative, getting my name known. That's not bad. I know sometimes we say that's not bad. It's just a fact that, like you said, the pros and cons. Once you understand the pros and cons, then it's not going to really matter as many opinions that come along because you have been invested in this decision. So this is the piece that I love. So this is something that I work with students all the time. So this is what I want everyone to do. If you have a piece of paper, computer, use your phone, like a little note function in your phone. But I want us to do, before we can make a career decision, most people make career decisions without having a clear vision, dream, or goals. Without even exploring what those look like. So that's what we're going to take just a little time doing. This is something I want you to follow up with your advisor as well as your counselor with. I want you to follow up with that because this is something that has to build out. I check myself every year on these same 3 points. So I encourage you to kind of not just commit it to, okay, this just helped me get in college, but it's actually to help you guide where you're going to be going in your future. So the first one, vision. The first one, vision. So vision for me, the way I help my students understand it in relation to career, a vision is a change you want to see in the world, your family, the community, or business. You cannot determine a career if you have not even established your vision. Anything you do will have a vision. With the lack of a vision, everything else gets confusing and overwhelmed. So like my TikTok video, it's like I'm taking courses, I'm involved, I'm getting good grades, I'm hearing families' opinions, and I still feel overwhelmed. The big reason you feel overwhelmed is because you haven't established a vision. So when everybody take a moment, I want you to write down vision or type in vision on your phone, and I want you to at least do one sentence of what your big vision is. Now, visions do not include obtaining a degree, a certification. It doesn't have any of that. A vision is the change you want to see or make in the world. It could be your family, it could be a community or business. But this is that purpose. I feel my purpose is to make art that brings joy and happiness to people. Again, it has nothing to do with degrees, certifications, trainings. It literally is what you feel like this is my vision, my purpose. And I know that some of you may be like, you know what, I don't have that. That is good. That means that you are open tablet. That means that these conversations. So if you don't have a vision, here are a few questions I want you to play with. What do I like? What is something that I don't like? What do I like about my community? What don't I like about my community? What do I like about the world? What don't I like about the world? What do I enjoy most about every day? The little things. If I had $1 million, what would I change? These questions help you define a vision. Because everything you do with your life should be on vision. That's what I want you to understand. And guess what? Your visions, you notice my pyramid is wide at the top. Visions are broad, y'all. They don't have to be as narrow. They are open. They are big. Because anything that you're doing in your life is on track as long as it connects with the vision. That's why I did it at the top. It's big. So you don't have to be so narrow. You can say, I want to help cats in urban areas get food. That's really my big vision in life. Like, I hate seeing stray cats. And guess what? That is a good vision. So I want to hug trees throughout the world. I want trees to know they are loved. I love Mother Nature. There's nothing wrong with that. This is where we celebrate your uniqueness and your diversity and what you bring to the table. But that's vision. Now, question, did anybody want to share with me? I'm gonna give an example first, just in case some of y'all are like, I still don't get what she's talking about. Again, I'll give an example. My vision in life is to provide mental health awareness and education to underrepresented populations in urban settings. That's all I want to do. That's why I want people to highlight when it's my time to go on to whatever afterlife anyone believes in. I want people to say, you know what? She made me feel really good about myself. I felt that I was better prepared in my education journey and that my mental health was really good. That is really what my vision in life is. So anybody else want to share with me what they thought of what their vision might be that they're thinking about?
Okay, so like the career I'm trying to go into, well, the one I'm interested in, I'm very interested in right now. Oh, before I start, I'm Sasha Barkowski. I'm a senior at Lincoln High School.
Okay.
And I wanna have some type of career in the NFL. And my vision was to provide efficient and valuable help and resources in the NFL.
Okay. So your big vision is I want to provide resources and help and professional. So now you can take it a little bigger for professional athletes. You can open yourself up even wider. Because anything you're doing, and then the NFL is still professional athletes. Who said you couldn't do for the Olympics as well? Who said that NBA wouldn't call you as well? So you're talking about resources and help. Now you have a whole area that you're open to. Your specialty can be NFL or football. But now you have the ability to say, they had a really cool hockey league, but I wanted to see how they implement health resources to the players. That same information is going to help you if you was working in the NFL. So that's a good one. I like that. Also, another big thing is what is diversity bringing into that? Add your diversity piece in the vision. That's the piece that too I want you all to look at. What sets me apart as well? It doesn't have to be big, y'all. It could be
What set me apart would be like cause I would like to be an athletic trainer. And what would set me apart is I might be the only female athletic trainer for that specific team, or the first African American female, or something like that.
there you go. That is what you're talking to employers about. That is what your niche is. It's not being extreme. It's like, hey, because let's be honest, we are becoming a society way more inclusive. That is our goal, okay? And so, with that being said, how many our athletes are going to start changing and looking different? So, guess what? We need to be ahead of the curve. You can say that I want to be innovative. I know that we're pushing for more inclusivity in different sports, and I want to make sure that not only am I being provided for male athletes, but also for those coming female, those who identify themselves as female athletes. So that's a big thing. Actually, it's a really good vision. Nice. Anybody else want to share a vision? And you don't have to. I know some of y'all like, I'm still there. And it's okay. Like, no vision is bad. All visions have purpose. Now, the next level, I want us to get in. This is where most of my students say, Miss Polk, I don't know what you're talking about. You done confused me because you told me my vision. I gave you the vision. Now you're asking me for my dream. So I want you to think of dreams. These are the accomplishments, okay, y'all? Now we're getting into what most of us are really focused on. You know, my dream is to get my degree. My dream is to get out the hood. My dream is to lose some weight. My dream is to get certified in these 3 different computer languages. So dreams are going to be the things, the thing that you do to accomplish your vision. So I want you to think of dream as kind of like the conductor. Because I'm doing this, that is going to allow me to live my vision. So my example, I said I want to do mental health and education for underrepresented populations in an urban setting. That's the vision. My dream is to become a counselor, because becoming a counselor is going to allow me to accomplish my vision. But I've also worked in academic advising, programming, orientation, multicultural. I've done a lot of different things with education. But my biggest dream, see, the one that I put a lot of energy in was becoming that counselor piece. I feel like if you're going to provide mental health, why not be trained and proficient in what you're providing people? So this is where most of you all, and a lot of us in Special Upper Bound, you're planning that. What is your education journey? What are some certifications you need? What are some trainings, work experiences? Now, a lot of the times my students miss the mark because they create dreams to support lifestyles, not visions. Make a message of that. You cannot create dreams to support lifestyles. Your dreams always have to connect with a vision, or they lose that passion, they lose that fire, they lose that interest. And you won't be able to follow through with it, because the only things you follow through with is those things that connect to your vision. Money is real, bills are real, so I'm not being oblivious, but your dream cannot only support a lifestyle. It must support going into your vision. So I want everybody to take a moment and write down some of your dreams. Get detailed. I want, like my friend, I think it was Sasha, she was like, okay, I want to be a trainer. That means I'm pursuing a bachelor's degree. In that bachelor's degree, I'm going to try to do some internships with some professional athletic leagues. I'm also going to be involved on campus so I can work on my presentation skills, because I know I'm going to need to talk. Also, I'm going to try to get into different volunteer opportunities within the athletics at the college that I pick. I maybe need to choose a college that has a pretty strong athletic department so that I can leverage some of those networks and those skills. So these are dreams. Dreams is going to go more into depth. Like this is what I want to do. Does anybody want to share a dream with me?
I should. If nobody else will. My dream, well, some of them I have so far, is to receive my bachelor's in kinesiology and become an athletic trainer, or to
Okay.
successfully get a good understanding of sports injuries.
Okay, that is good. I want to challenge you. Look up the different certifications for trainers with specific focuses on the different parts of the body. So like your ligaments, some people focus on muscular damage. Look into some of those certifications. That's where your money is. Y'all just seen that, right? That I can still be on my dream and find ways to still be hitting my vision and finding ways to make a little bit more money in the process. Because there are some certifications, also some additional trainings that can really help, especially holistic practices. So the ones that don't use medication, and then the ones that do use medication. You want to know both, because again, we're inclusive. Some people do not want to use a lot of the medicine. They want things more holistic. Good. Anybody else want to share?
I'll go next. Sorry for the background noise. I have my siblings, but I didn't get to share my vision before. But my vision is to see change in the justice system, and get to see the officers held accountable. And so I want to have a degree in criminal justice.
Okay. Nice. That is, so I love how you said my big vision is to change the criminal justice system. So however I do that, I could do that through a probation officer. I could do that through a city council. I could do that through policy implementation. I also can do that being a police officer myself or being a detective. Now you've opened yourself up, but you say, you know what, I'm gonna get my criminal justice degree. I want you to even dive, and that's where we're gonna go next. You actually segued me into my next one, which is the goal. I'll use this example. My friend said, okay, I want to change the criminal justice system. Like, I need us to be all on one page, being fair and equitable. All right, my dream, that's why I'm going to go get me my criminal justice degree, and I'm going to go into whatever area that is, because I'm going to use my role as a police officer, a correctional officer, probation officer, city council representative, whatever that you choose. That's going to help me accomplish my vision. And I'm going to go into the goals. The goals are super, super narrow, y'all. It's so narrow. So I can break down. This is going to upper bound meetings. This is connecting with your school counselors. These are going on college tours. These are asking questions to financial aid representatives. These are literally doing informational interviews where you're talking to professionals in the field. This is utilizing your LinkedIn. I'm going to use LinkedIn. I'm going to go add people in this profession. This is also you being able to write those essays for those scholarships or for those programs at those institutions before you get there to be a part of it. You see all these goals? Goals are a lot. They're both short term. Short term for me is all 1 to 3 years. Short term goals are usually 1 to 3 years. So things that you got to accomplish in 1 to 3 years. Long term can be 3 to 5, and it can be a little further because then you got from 5 to 10. But I want you to think of short term and long term. You have to have both. You can't just make all these long term goals. You have to have short-term goals that get you to long-term goals. That's what goals are. But again, you can't do random goals. Just because you're getting A's in all your classes doesn't mean you're going to be prepared for your dream, and doesn't mean that you're going to be on track to accomplish your vision. So make sure that your goals are specific, okay? Want them specific and detailed. These help you accomplish the dreams that help you live out your vision. Goals help you accomplish your dreams and help you live out your vision. I'm going to say it one more time for you. If you don't write anything else down, your goals help you accomplish your dreams so that you can live your vision. That is what I want you to understand. This is career exploration. This is the heart of it. I can give you a million resources to look up all these different things, but this is what most people miss. You can't start researching opportunities until you get this. Once you have this, then everything else fits into it. If you do not have this, then your career is going to be overwhelming. You're going to be feeling like I'm doing stuff for no purpose. But guess what? Don't figure this out by yourself. Leverage connections. Leverage your resources. So I'm a step type of woman, okay? So I like to have some steps. I like to follow things. So step 1, take time to get to know yourself. Take time to get to know yourself. I know we talk about money and lifestyle. If I'm honest with y'all, I grew up in Oak Cliff. I'm an Oak Cliff native, okay? Turn up. I'm a first generation for undergraduate and graduate. It literally, and my biggest goal in life was not to live in the hood. I know that seems very little, but that was my I knew that I did not want to live where certain things was happening in my neighborhood every day. I literally just want to go to a neighborhood where I didn't have to see people walking the street. If y'all get what I'm saying. I just got tired of seeing it. But I knew that about myself. So what I did was I started trying to figure out what I liked and didn't like. And my family is different. They still kind of feel okay with the neighborhood. I don't. And that's okay. So this is where I want you to say what you like, don't like. I start to take what classes do I like, classes I don't like. What do I do in my free time? Then you got to know yourself. If you don't know yourself, how are you going to be able to? You're not. Take time to know yourself. I'm pretty sure Upper Bound offers multiple programs for you to explore things that you like about yourself. Okay, I popped in at the last bit of Mr. Douglas, and he was talking about, loving on yourself. These things matter, y'all. You got to start with you. So after you start with you, guess what? We talked about money. Determine your lifestyle. I know a lot of times we get scared of this, okay? Don't be scared of this. Determine what kind of house you want, what kind of car you want to drive. Do you want to stay in Texas or do you want to travel around? And what would you like your leisure time to look like? Ooh, is it my computer? I don't know what it better not be restarting, y'all. That's the story of my life with my computer. Nayeli, do y'all have my PowerPoint? Because I don't know what's happening with mine.
I think Maria has it. Ms. Hernandez.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know what happened, y'all. Tonight, that ain't my. I'm like, what?
Let me pull it up.
Let me know. Just in case, because I only got like 2 or 3 more slides, but I don't know my computer here. But again, with determining your lifestyle, that's a big thing. You want to look into it. And if we're honest, and I want to share, do you believe your lifestyle, the one you want, looks different from the one your family currently has?
Yes.
Yeah.
And is it sometimes uncomfortable when you're trying to share, like, this is where I want to go?
Yes.
Yes.
Usually, yeah.
And y'all, it is uncomfortable, okay? But what happens is when someone can't see something yet, it makes us uncomfortable. And that's okay. Because let's be honest, if I travel somewhere, I'm uncomfortable. I'm still uncomfortable in certain neighborhoods, if I'm honest with you. So with that being said, this is where when you have those things, write it down. But you can't let those things basically stop you from pursuing those things. Okay? Because without a lifestyle, so the first one, like we said, we have to determine that lifestyle. Because that lifestyle, like one of you all mentioned, it does determine like kind of the career. And that's okay. Money is real. Money's not good or bad. Okay? So I want y'all to get that. Now, this is my big thing. I love to research your possibilities. Open up your possibilities. You narrow down to your top 3. And you notice I said your top 3. So even if your dream job, and I'll use my friend who said dream job was an actual athletic trainer, find 2 other occupations that are very similar to that. You should have 3. So it gives you some room. I don't know about y'all, but I like freedom. I don't really like to be told what to do. And I feel like if I have one choice, that's too much in one basket for me. So open it up a little bit for yourself, okay? So that you at least have 3 so you can choose. Now, the website I have here, as well as ONET, online.org, ONETONILINE.org, are websites, and I'm going to actually show that website. I think I have the time. Nope, I'm going to send it to your representatives. When I get to questions, it may more or less fill there. But this is what I want you to know. This is how you got to have opportunities, y'all, possibilities. When we narrow ourselves, what happens is that we stress ourselves out. Most of you all are probably from the age of 14 to 18, give or take. Guess what? In the next 10 years, some of your interests and things will change. So open those possibilities up. Okay? Don't be nervous to have 2 or 3. It is fine. And this is the big piece. Don't ask me why I have to put it here, but I have to be honest. We don't need you all to have it figured out. If you had it figured out, most of us would not have a job. So we appreciate you all for just coming to us, leaning on us, coming literally. I'm pretty confident if you called your Upper Bound advisor and said, I need to know what schools offer A, B, C, and D, they're going to get you the information quick. So you see where you want to leverage? Like they can't always help you answer those questions about knowing yourself. They can't always tell you what's the best route for you. But what they do is they'll give you every resource you need to make that decision. So don't stress yourself out on having to make the decision and find all the research yourself. When you find out what schools you like, the prices. Now I have a message about prices. Yes, we want to get out of college with the most less debt. I get it. but you also don't want to set yourself up to be somewhere that's not going to offer you the experiences and the knowledge you need to go where you want to go. That is what I have to tell you about prices. It's good to be aware, but it's also, remember, the bigger the school, the more scholarships and money they have. The issue is that most of us wait until our senior year to start looking at these schools where other people have been looking at the school since their junior year. So make sure that you're looking at and determining the prices, but also what programs they offer. If you already know your dream and your vision, then you shouldn't be at a school that's not helping you align with your dream and your vision. That's where most people mess up, because then you go to a school and now you're trying to fit your whole vision into a school that at the beginning was not the best fit for you. So talk to your upper bound advisor, talk to your school counselor. Let's find out what best fits you. School services. UNT Dallas, I'm a career advisor, so I get to help people with career all day, find out what services. Now, the reason this one is big for me, because this helps you determine short-term and long-term goals. If you meet with an advisor or counselor, they are trained to create education and career plans for you. But if you do not leverage them, you're going to be making up random career plans in your head, stressing yourself out. So, y'all remember my TikTok video, you're going to be overwhelmed. Let them help you create these plans. And this is my biggest thing. Be open to changes. Okay, y'all? Like, it's okay. Change your mind. If you ain't changing your mind, it means you're not thinking. It's okay if you change your mind. Open yourself up, change your mind, bring some things in, get rid of some things. It's all of it is about supporting you. So my two big takeaways. One, you are responsible for making your education and career decisions. I have family who did not support me being in school for 8 years. They were like, this is too much. Your brain's going to burn out on you. You know, you're not around family enough. Like, you know, what are you doing? But it was my decision. So you have to own the decisions you want to make. And know that your career will affect your future lifestyle and your feelings of feeling fulfilled. That's why I want you to keep it open. Let it grow with you. If I'm honest, no one in here looks like they did at 3 years old. So just like you change and develop, so will your career. Embrace those changes, but know that, again, don't put so much weight on having the right choice. Just start. Just start. And so, in the last bit of time I have with you all, I want to know, do y'all have any questions that you want to ask me? If you want to put them in the chat function and then they can be read off to me, or you can just ask me and I'll do my best to answer them.
I have a question. Okay, so my name is Aurelia Miles. I go to Lancaster High School. Now, for the justice system, would you say being a judge or like being a judge would be one of them, kind of? Because you're determining, you know, if that person is guilty type thing. But then again, I don't know.
So to be honest, you're in a good ballpark. So judges, and I'll tell you kind of what they've done. So most judges start off as lawyers, okay? And so what lawyers do, lawyers then work with all these city officials and policies and procedures. So there are a lot of policy makers. So when you think about a judge is a really good way, actually a really good way to impact the criminal justice system, because they implement policies and they have the power to determine how policy is interpreted. Now, on the flip side, you can also go into what people call like policy negotiation or legislation. So this is your political realm. A lot of changes are made in politics that even if a judge wanted to change some things, they probably couldn't always change things. So you have two ways you can look at it. If you're talking about the big system in whole, looking to get into politics, policy. And I'm not talking about you got to be the president, you got to go into Senate, but you want to look at what different policies, what politicians are in over our Department of Criminal Justice right now in Texas. Look at their roles. That is how you impact the criminal justice field, because they're making decisions on laws that are passed. And guess what? Judges have to implement and enforce laws passed from a legislative board. So judges are a good way. Judges are more like community based. So if you're trying to change in your community, the judge will have a lot of power. But if you're wanting to change the system like from top down, start looking into politics a little bit. So looking at policies, legislation, things of that nature, which you can still do that with a criminal justice degree as well. Good question.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions? I know it's a lot of information, y'all. Don't beat yourself up.
Okay, like okay, how did you know like you wanted to do what you do? Like when you was like, did it happen in college or was it beforehand when you knew you wanted to be in this position?
So mine started as a kid. So a background about my background. My dad is bipolar, schizophrenic, and my mom has always been severely depressed. So I always grew up in a family, let's just say, a lot going on all the time. And so I always wanted to be able to help my parents. I was like, something got to give. They never were receiving the help they needed. And so when I finally got to school, I asked the teacher, I said, if you think your parents are kind of crazy, and that's exactly the term they use, how can you help people that people think are crazy? And they tell me, well, maybe being a counselor or a psychiatrist. And I was like, oh, okay. I didn't really know what those were. I looked them up. I realized that a psychiatry, I'm not really down with the pills, but I was like, I do like talking to people, helping them through their issues. When I got to college, I realized I like doing that with a lot of different groups of people. So not just those who may be experiencing like actual mental health disorders, but I started to enjoy working in programs. So I worked at the Boys and Girls Club. I've worked at college campuses, at least 6 different campuses throughout Texas. I've done a lot of community work. And so that's kind of how I learned. So I think for me, I just took my life story. For me, that's what I always tell students. Take what your life is giving you and see what you can work with. That's how I decided what I'm doing now. Because after I realized I wanted to help mental health, I realized that when I started college, it wasn't an easy transition. There was not a big term of first generation college students. And so I felt like I was always left out there by myself figuring it out. No one understood my family struggles. No one understood my financial struggles. I wasn't a part of an upper bound or anything. So I always told myself I wanted to be able to help that student who was just like me, just trying to figure it out, but no one really had a similar story to them. So that's kind of how I got here. Because then I feel like if someone helped me in my career, I wouldn't have had to go through so many different changes. I would have had a better, from the beginning, I would have been a little bit more smoother. But I think that because of that, those ups and downs, it's really helped me love what I do now. So hopefully that kind of answered your question a little bit.
You did. And another question is, would you say being patient, like having patience is also like a big factor of fighting towards your vision and your dreams and stuff?
Yes, that is the biggest thing. Like, as much as I wish I had a magical wand to go like this and everything be where I want it, this has been a 10-year journey, y'all. 10 years. Okay, if you asked me 10 years ago, I'll be here. I wouldn't thought that. But it's about a 10-year journey, so it is patience. But I would tell people I learned patience when I start to enjoy the process. Enjoy the people you're meeting. Enjoy your friends. Enjoy your school. Like, I had to get off this timeline because really I was just trying to get to the money. Okay, I'm gonna be honest, y'all. That was my first focus, get to the money. I'm tired of being on this money crunch. Let me get to the money. And what I realized is that money is gonna come, but it's a process. So when I stopped being on this money hustle, this mindset, I gotta hurry up and just make money, then I started to enjoy everything that was around me. And eventually I started to see my money increase. So I think patience is really big.
I have a question, and I think most seniors might have this question too. As they're navigating through the college selection process and selecting their schools and their programs, what do you recommend students do as they are selecting a major? A lot of students are, when they're selecting a school and we're talking about it, they're like, oh, is that like locked in? And we let them know you can change your major. There's some pros. I think there's some pros and cons as to like selecting a major and then changing a major, because at least from my experience in college and like with my peers in college, I had friends who selected a major and then switched it like 3 times or 4 times, which I think can be a good thing too if you're exploring, but then it can also backfire if, there's certain requirements and then your graduation process is delayed. So interested to hear about your thoughts about selecting majors, changing majors multiple times.
So this is what I've seen to be effective, okay? So I've did about 4 years as an advisor. Students, seniors, pick your top 3 majors at that school. Your top 3. Leverage major and minor combos. Most of the time, you're not going to like everything in your major, so throw that out your mind. That's a lot. I did not like everything in my major. But I'll tell students, do major minor combination. That is going to help you. Minors are at least 18 hours of specific content in that, whatever your minor is. Your major is going to be what, another probably 36 hours of content. So combine them. You pick one major, and a lot of my students pick psychology and they put business because they say, I want to go into business, but I like working with people. Well, actually go into business and focus in HR. So what you want to do is you want to leverage, and this is where you leverage your advisor and the school's advisor. Now here's a message. Their goal is to give you clarity. It doesn't matter how many questions you ask. It doesn't matter how many times you send an email. Their job is to provide clarity. Do a major minor. So pick your top 3 majors. Research those, and those 3 majors need to align with your vision. Not just your dreams, your vision. 3 majors, along with your vision. And then when you get those 3 majors, do a combo. Well, if I major in psychology, I'm a minor in business. If I major in business, I'm a minor in mathematics. Do the combos and talk to your actual advisors about those combos. Because a lot of times you are a person, you're going to have multiple interests. So pick a major. What major changing affects your financial aid sometimes. So this is the financial aid, and affects your graduation time rate and some of your scholarships. So that's why I encourage when you go in, if you pick a major and a minor, you're never missing out on the 2 majors. So if you're stuck in between 2 majors, see how you can major and minor in. That's been more effective for my students who have multiple interests. Max, try to change your major no more than 3 times to 2 times being the max. Because what happens is, it's not bad to change it, but again, every time you change, you may be moving, some classes are not going to be used, and it may be making your time a little longer, which is not bad. So that will be my suggestion. Find your top 3. Always choose a minor in some way, because again, you may not need a major in an area. You just may need some classes that interest you. Does that kind of help out a little bit? Awesome. Any other questions? Hopefully I answered. Hopefully the silence is like a good sign, you know, like what was she talking about?
Yeah, I think the silence is a good one. I think you explained the presentation. It was really good. Really, I appreciate the presentation a lot. I learned a lot. Thank you.
Aw. Well, I'm happy that you did. I'm gonna stop sharing so that I can kind of see faces and names if possible. And also know that it's your journey. Please own your voice.
Miss Polk, I don't know if you can hear me.
I can.
All right, it's because I'm at work. Basically, I just want to say thank you because I've been stressing about something a lot, and kind of this talk kind of helped me calm down a little bit.
Aw. Yeah.
So thank you.
You're welcome. No stressing over careers, y'all. The money's gonna come. I'm telling you, you're gonna be in your dream roles. You will be. Just give yourself some time. You're gonna be there. I promise you. If y'all could go back 10 years, I didn't think I'd be able to be here helping at the capacity I am today. Come, it's gonna come. Nice. Any other questions? Anything that's kind of been like, I need help in between deciding? Anyone else?
Well, I don't really have like a question, but because my main vision is to change the justice system, but then I like helping people. So my top 3 careers, they kind of don't go in the justice system; they just go with helping people. So the law force, being a nurse or a psychologist, because in nurse I get to help. I want to help children. Like I want to work at Children's Hospital. And with a psychologist, I want to help people mentally. So I don't think they kind of all go together, but those are my top 1.
Well, let's put it in perspective. So your big vision is to impact the criminal justice system. So one thing that you want to do, if you want to work with children, you look at juvenile justice. In particular, you may be a nurse working in juvenile justice. When you talk about psychologists, guess what? They have psychologists that work. We're literally criminal pathology. So how does those that have criminal activities, what can you do to help them not have those activities? So you see how each one of these careers can directly fit into it. So you don't, in the correction officer, to be honest, what it sounds like, you can also be a probation officer. They do a lot of the counseling work, a lot of the social worker work. They're helping people retransition back into society. So I don't think that when you say helping, you can choose many different things that help people. Your focus is just be in areas that you see those who have been kind of deemed as criminals. So maybe you work with juvenile. Instead of just like saying just children in general, you work with juvenile. Instead of saying, I just want to be a general nurse at Children's Health, what if you're actually a nurse at an actual juvenile detention center or an adult detention center? Again, you're helping the system. And if you're changing the system, I tell people when we think about changing, narrow it down. I want to change how people are treated in our criminal justice center. That is a big change because of what you're doing and what you will do with your future clients or patients. That will evoke a change for other professionals to treat them differently. So you're still making a change in the criminal justice system. You're choosing to change how they are treated if they are in the system. So it's just whichever way you want to look at it.
I didn't think about it like that, but thank you.
You're welcome. That's a good one. Anyone else? Sometimes it's perspective, y'all. Talk to your advisors, talk to your counselors. When you change your perspective, a lot of things change. Okay, and it's okay. Literally, y'all have great ideas. And I know I haven't heard everyone, but I already know that with your staff and all these great questions, like y'all are like, thank y'all for being ahead of the game, because as I get older, I'm gonna need people to take my seat. And I'm confident that somebody in this crowd is gonna be taking some big seats across this country. And so I'm excited to see y'all in your future endeavors. So if there's any questions, and also if you have questions, if you send them over to your upper bound advisor, they'll direct them over to me if they needed just like some more insight, okay? So that's what we'll leverage. So let them know if you have questions. You may not be comfortable with me yet. I own that. But if you do have questions that you're like, I do want this answered, they can help leverage that to me if you didn't feel comfortable asking, like while we're on like the Zoom, because this sometimes can be a little uncomfortable. So I get it. Don't feel nervous. All right. So if I don't have any questions, it is a pleasure speaking with you all. It is always, I think my son is over here trying to call his iPad. It's hilarious, y'all, because I hit his iPad. But I thank you all for your time, your questions, your engagement. Literally, y'all have just made my day, because I get scared when I do these. I'm like, they're not going to talk to me. But y'all made my morning because y'all actually talk to me and engage. And so I appreciate that. So that's my thank you to you all. And then I'm going to hand it back over to the staff. Thank you all, staff, for allowing me to come and chat and talk. And I think it's about that time anyway. So hopefully I'm on mark. I've been trying to stay on time.
No, yes, ma'am. You're good.